Hi, I'm Joe Jordan, and today what I want to talk to you about is when business becomes personal. A lot of the discussions I have talk about our impact on our clients, the fact that people can die too soon, they can live too long, and they can get sick and disabled. But you know what? Those risks are the very same risks we experience, those people who are in the business. And this particular story is real personal. I was at an Allstate convention and I bumped into Mark Anderson. Mark is a regional sales manager, and he called me over and he said, "Joe, I'd like to spend a few minutes with you." And this was very important to me because, sometimes I feel like I'm talking to the wilderness, So anyway, what he told me at first really brought my spirits up. He said that, "I've heard you speak a number of times. I was so impressed that I wanted to bring my son Reed to hear you speak." And I did. Interestingly enough, my son was studying to become a doctor, and catch this. He said after he heard me speak, he said, "Dad, what does it take to become a financial services professional?" In other words, when I talked before about this whole idea about Gen Y, about the millennials wanting to do something worthwhile, there's some proof to that, because that's what he decided to do. And not too long after that, what happened was he got married. And then the person that Mark suggested he speak to about his own financial circumstances, he said to the guy, "Joe Jordan told me to buy life insurance, so I think I should." So I was very impressed by that, and I felt very happy, but I didn't know the rest of the story. The rest of the story was that Reed got killed in a car accident. And the life insurance proceeds that were there were, of course, enough to take care of him, but also allowed for, all of the expenses and bills he had, but also took care of his wife-to-be. And so that's something that Mark, obviously, losing a child, my God, he really took to heart. And he sent out an email to all of the people that were there, and he said, "You know what?" And this gets back to my daily contact commitment. The day that you're sitting down there and worried about whether or not you're going to be rejected, or you got a real problem about putting yourself out, and you'd rather not make this call, he said, "How would you like to feel like the person that you didn't call, something happened? How would you feel if that happened?" And that's why we have a responsibility. See, let me tell you something. I don't think this is a job. I don't even think it's a career. A career is still about you. I think it's a calling. And I think when you bite into the idea that perhaps this person I'm about to call could be the person that really needs what I do, I think that gives you the little impetus to make that call. This reminds me, too, of MDRT. As of this recording, I just came back from $1 Million Roundtable, and there was a young woman there, Melina Amador. Let me tell you something. Everybody listening to me needs to go out and buy the DVD and the CD and play it once a week. This is a young girl who, at the age of 18, with a 16-year-old sister, her mother died, single parent. The both of them had to survive. And she talked about the difficulties of surviving, of trying to get into a school while they were also working, while they were also trying to keep a roof over their head, and how that became problematic, and how she finally got a scholarship, which was nice, from the Life Foundation. But she now is with New York Life, looking to become an apprentice, if you would. And one of the things they were teaching her the business, and you know what? Typical us, we're focusing in on the premiums and the cash values and how that worked. She looked at the death benefit. This particular policy had $300,000 in it. You know what she first said? She couldn't get her eyes off the benefit because she knew what that would have meant to her. The first thing she said was toothpaste. She couldn't even afford toothpaste. She had it so much in her genes in terms of the impact that this had and how difficult it made her life and what it would have meant if some insurance was enforced. That's what we do. And those are the types of stories that we have to constantly fill our head with. Because if it's all about the facts and the figures and just about making money, man, that's a tough business. But if you can think about, too bad you weren't the person who got in touch with her mother, whereby they could have had some financial security when they went through that. You can imagine how big this young girl is going to be when she gets into production. That's what I'm telling you, okay? When you change the way you see things, the things you see change. And we have to start spending time focusing in on the potential and the actual impact that we have on people.